I kind of want to talk to you specifically, the person who's watching this. Why leaving your friends right now, I'm talking about the person who's specifically in your head right now, the person you think, oh yeah, like this is a friend. Specifically, why you should be leaving those friends if you want success. So before I start just going on around, I kind of want to specifically tell you who this is for. This is specifically for someone who has been sat with their friend group. They've been basically friends with this one single friend group. Maybe they've had past experiences with multiple friend groups, but they've really only been stuck to this friend group only recently. They have not much friends, or at least not much deep relationships with other people, and so they're very stuck to this certain group. And yet what problem they're facing is they're receiving a lot of criticism, they're receiving a lot of hate. Basically, they feel like they are being bullied by their friends. And this is their only safe spot. These people know them deeply. They know their parents, they know their siblings. And yet, I don't know, they just they feel like they are genuinely almost hurting you. And yet, we can't really think of the idea of I want to leave this person, because it just hurts the ego to think that I will be all alone, I will have no deep relationships, I will leave these people. Because I mean, how it is really. The ego just thinks of how it makes you survive, and it thinks we still live in tribes. It still thinks that if one person goes alone, their survival rate decreases. When in reality, we sit in comfortable houses all day long, we're pretty comfortable, we can easily just be alone for the next 6 months, probably even more than that, and we'd be totally fine. We're not living in the woods where a bear might jump you, or whatever it may be. But the ego doesn't know that, and so the ego will stop you from trying to actually leave your friends. Listen to me here. I want to just tell you this as a piece of advice, not just to you, but just specifically younger me. Because if I saw younger me, this is exactly what I would be telling him. You need to leave your old friends. And I specifically, I say this, old friends, as in the friends who are literally basically not even friends anymore. They're literally bullies. They are crabs. You tell them about how you want to be a millionaire, they laugh at you. That you want to actually go on dopamine detox and change your life and start improving yourself, and you're want to start reading books, and they tell you this is absolute bullshit, you shouldn't be doing this, and they basically criticize you, make you feel absolutely drained out, and you basically are oh man, what am I even supposed to do? And you just basically try and cope and be oh yeah, I just have bad friends, I just have bully friends. Come on, man. Listen, you don't realize how much these influences are affecting your self-improvement. You don't realize how much these influences, I say influences as in people who genuinely have an impact. And you might think that they don't have an impact. You might think, oh no, I don't give a fuck, I'm okay. But in reality, these are affirmations. These are words that will go in your head. And your deepest parts of your brain will remember these. Your deepest parts of your brain will literally just save these to the heart. It doesn't give a fuck. It wants to keep criticism because it thinks that when the tribe members criticize someone, they criticize them out of love because they were brothers. But what you don't see and what your ego doesn't see is these don't really love you. They don't really care about you. They have this emptiness in them that just pushes them to put others down. They are crabs. I want to just tell you about this analogy that I was taught. And it's basically just how so there are crabs in a bucket. And basically this analogy discovered how if a crab tries to go out of the bucket, the lower crabs will pull the crab back down. And they will genuinely just try to just put him lower than themselves. And that's exactly what they are. They are crabs. They want to pull you down. They want to destroy your future and your success. They want you to be a mechanic like them in the future. They want you to be making $50 an hour. They want you to literally have to struggle to feed your children. And even though like we're supposed to be saying, oh yeah, like they are nice people, like but yeah, they are nice people. But they certainly don't know what's good for me. They certainly don't understand anything I'm doing. They are friends of the old identity, the old me. I've changed. And so I can't be around these people anymore. I'll tell you a story of my old friends, okay? So I used to sit around with basically three dudes. We were like four dudes, like the group, like of four dudes that are walking around and living life. I was basically video game addicted. I was like basically fucked up like they are. We're all just a group of young kids trying to fucking like be shit, right? And then I discovered self-improvement and I wanted to change. The problem is I basically said those things to them. And so now one of the crabs is trying to leave the bucket. And so their number one reaction is just, oh, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, you're a piece of shit. Oh, imagine spending $100 on a karate belt. Oh my God, you're an idiot. And then all this just keeps hitting you more and more and more and more. Till eventually I reached a fuck this event. They made me cry in the night. And I reached my fuck this event. And soon enough, I'd send them all letters of basically just me saying, well, I'm sorry, I need to move on another stage of my life. I certainly will miss you. You are a great friend to me. And I basically mentioned a whole bunch of like fun stories I had with them. Because I didn't want to build karma. I didn't want to build hate between us. But at the same time, I wanted them away as far away from me as possible. I didn't want to build hate. I wanted to be a purposeful young man who succeeds in life. And so I realized that I shouldn't just go about this in the aggressive way and just be like, oh, you're really bad and I hate you and you're trying to like destroy me, you're bullying me, and just like say this to their faces and leave. No. You show them the gratitude. You become a superior man to them. You show them. You make them feel like they are under your toes. When you are basically just giving them gratitude while they have given you hate. And even though they basically treated you all bad, their memory of you now is green. It isn't bad, but it ain't good either. And that's really all we need. We need to have peaceful events on us, because when we're going on self-improvement, when we're developing ourselves, when we want success, when we chase the success, naturally, if we build karma, if we build hate, if we've given them hate and they hate us now, that hate will only come back to fight us again. And so what we do instead is we give love. We show gratitude. We tell them thank you for all these nice things that you've done. But now I've got to move on. But now I've got a better option. Now, well, don't say I've got a better option. But just, say what you have in your heart of love. And all the hate, keep it to yourself, my guy. And honestly, I tell you, if you have some hate, if you like genuinely have some hate, journal about it. Like grab a sheet of paper, grab your journal, and just journal about it. Why have they affected me so much? Why are they so bad towards me? Like, what could be affecting their lives, which is basically making them like push this onto me? And then once you understand them, you write the story in like a very inspirational way instead of this very negative way. And then you basically just realize, okay, I need to be grateful for this, because if I didn't have these friends, I couldn't have had this experience. And so basically, you leave, but you leave with intention of love. You leave with love bursting through you and leaving a trail of love before you where they are sitting. And when you all grow up and you become this successful millionaire and their mechanics who are working for $50 an hour, then they'll understand why you were much better than them. They'll understand this stuff. But till then, your success is dependent on what your actions are. What you take right now, what actions you decide to do right now, will affect your success and whether you reach that success. And so the number one tip I could give you, the number one constraint I have found for young men this age, especially because like we're basically like polluted with toxic friends and people who don't have intentions the same as ours, leave them, but leave them with love. Leave them, but leave them with love. Don't build karma, because karma will only come back and bite you in the ass. I remember I made a video on this before, I removed it, but basically, it was basically a video about how to leave your toxic friends, how to, like, basically just, yeah, it's quite self-explanatory, just how to leave your toxic friend group. I basically, like, talked about a whole bunch of different shit, but really it all goes to the same point. I kind of summarized it in this video in a much better way and in a much more effective, like, compact way, I guess. I really need you to understand this. So your success depends on this. Your biggest constraint right now is the affirmations that are being spat in your ears. And you just need to reverse that. You need to have a clear silence when you work so you can actually just focus. And so that you won't have your fucking Discord friends just being like, oh, like, one more game, come on, let's go back to video games, come here, you know, all that fucking crap. So really, I kind of wanted to just tell you really about this, that this is a big constraint in your life. And that you don't realize how toxic they are to you right now. But in the near future, if you don't do this soon enough, you will. But you will with a wound, not with random bullshit. And so take action on this. Start preparing the letters you're gonna send them. You can either like basically just write the letter and read it on video, or you can just basically give them the letter physically, like you just go up to them, you give them the letter and be like, read this at home, and basically like that. What I would do then after that is I would basically remove them. Don't block them, just remove them. Because if you keep them, they will keep sending you like the weird shit. They will keep trying to contact you. Once you remove them, then disappear. That's basically the number one thing. Go out of all the groups, go out of all the Discord servers, stop having contact with them, don't play their video games, don't play nothing, and just actually like focus on your success, because now you've manned up. Because now you've taken your first step towards your success. And so that's just kind of what I want to go through. I wish I could just really like tell you, like emphasize this and like push you to do this, and like I will see you in front of me. I'll be like, yes, do it. Come on, I'll help you with the letter. Just, you know, I wish I could just really like be this pushy, but it's really only because I just want you to do this, because I know how bad it was, because I did this myself, because I faced the same problem myself, because I had like these toxic friends who were basically limiting me, who I literally like, I cried in like at like 5 a.m. sat alone, depressed, literally like I basically like stayed up nights, and like in each of those nights I was basically heartbroken. I was like, they were destroying me night by night by night. Eventually I literally was crying. So I hope you don't have to reach a point like this, because it's really painful. It's really painful to just have to face friends that are basically gonna hurt you. And I mean, to this day, I'm still in the same school, I'm still in the same place. They still see me and I still see them. Today, in fact, which was like the first like start of the semester, and I like the one of the teachers basically told me that he basically lost his pen, and he thinks that it's like in like their class, and so he basically sent me there to like get him his pen. And so I went into their class, like, and I basically just like was like, okay, like give me his pen. They basically couldn't find the pen, and so like I asked the whole grade, like the whole class, but they were back like in the corner just screaming and like laughing and doing all their crap. And really, I looked at it in a gratitude way. When I looked into their eyes, I smiled. I gave them genuine love. Because now I don't hold this hatred anymore. I don't have this trauma anymore. I've saved myself the trouble of having to worry about hate and spreading hate. And I can officially say that I have no enemies. And that I am a free man from all karma. At least the karma that I've built up. And so that's kind of what I want to go through. And so I guess I'll see you next morning, chat, which probably will be tomorrow. So prep yourself up, like, just watch the time as it goes, and till then, I guess I'll see you, bro.